If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, then the 50-year mortgage will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Greetings, empowered investors. We had the official, well, I guess it's not official, but the official goal to have a 50-year mortgage in the United States. Now, well, Dave Ramsey is having a heart attack because he's the elementary school version of personal finance. I am having a party because this is some of the best news ever. Think about the factors that are making real estate more affordable and more appealing, that are going to create more demand and cause prices to go up, 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 up. We got a 50-year mortgage coming down the pike, which will save people almost $300 per month on a $400,000 home. That's going to create more demand. We have very limited supply, just over 850,000 homes actually actively for sale. I know there are different surveys, but that's the actual active number, about 850, which is very low inventory compared to the historical norms. We have that. And then we have this big movement to end property taxes, which I have predicted will basically cause an instant 15% increase in real estate values. Because if you could end property tax, that would be a phenomenal thing to make housing more affordable and more desirable overall. So, longer mortgage, the rates are sliding down, the money is getting easier, the quantitative tightening is over, and the quantitative easing is in the offing, it's starting to begin, and lower rates, and a 50-year mortgage. Wow. And we're going to replace Jerome Powell, the too late Powell guy, right? So many incredible things, besides all of the demographic and psychographic factors, besides all the pent-up demand, where we've had such a reduction in sales for the past 3 years. All of this is adding up to be the perfect storm. I mean, I am like out of my mind. I'm so giddy. I'm so happy about all of these factors. Now, people that think the 50-year mortgage is bad are stupid. They're dumb. They don't get it. They don't understand how inflation-induced debt destruction works. They don't understand negative interest rates. They are just small-minded people that say, oh, we're going to have to pay more interest. We're never going to really own our homes. We're gonna be in debt forever. We're going to be debt slaves. The reality is, for those sophisticated people that follow my work, that get it, that understand negative interest rates, and I'm going to show you an example here in a moment, and understand inflation-induced debt destruction, the hidden wealth creator that has made hundreds of millions of people very, very wealthy. Okay? The thing the sophisticated investors use, the thing the Wall Street tycoons use, the LBO or the leveraged buyout, which is basically the same strategy we use as real estate investors, those people in the know see how incredibly beneficial all of these trends are that are converging to make an incredible time. And they see the 50-year mortgage as a key benefit to this whole strategy. I have to redo my calculations because for 21 years, I've been talking to you about how inflation-induced debt destruction pays you to borrow on a 30-year mortgage, but it's going to pay you even more, much more, on a 50-year mortgage. Imagine if you could rent money and get paid to rent the money, because that's what you're doing when you pay interest. You're just renting money. You're renting the use of the money. And you could buy a property today in 2025 and not have the last payment due on that until 2075. Whoa! When it was previously due in 2055. This is some of the best news ever. Okay, now, you know the way an amortized loan works. You pay mostly interest up front, and amort is from the Latin word which means to kill the mortgage, amortize it, amort. Okay, amort the mortgage, and you're killing it off, right? So you kill it off very slowly by paying mostly interest up front. Now, the average American only stays in their home for what, like 7 years or so. I got some stats on this. Don't quote me on the exact number, but it's around 7 years. The median is longer, and the tenure of homeownership is getting longer. Why? Mortgage lock-in effect. People got these low COVID rates that they don't want to give up. All the world has finally realized what I've been telling you for 21 years. The mortgage is not a liability, it's an asset. It's an incredibly powerful financial planning tool. But the uninformed, they do not understand that. Great. If everybody got it, everybody would be doing it. You get it. You understand it. So take advantage of it. It's better. Like in business, there's this thing, you go out into the marketplace and you see all these people in business that just aren't very good, right? They don't return calls, they're flakes, they break their promises, they outright rip people off like Marco Santarelli in Narada Real Estate, right? Just ripping people off, right? With his $62 million, $63 million Ponzi scheme that he was indicted for in federal court in Orange County, California. Sentencing coming up next March. Can you believe how much time these people get before their sentencing? So yeah, that's the guy that hosts the Passive Income podcast. And there's no such thing as passive income. It does not exist. Not even a savings account is passive. I've explained why. But there is a spectrum of passive to active, and things fall at different places on the spectrum. But I digress. Tangent alert. So the typical person rents the money to buy the house or the income property because they own it about 7 years on average. Okay? So they're not paying down any principal anyway. And the 50-year mortgage gives them almost a $300 per month discount on a $400,000 house. And what could you do with that extra money? As an investor, if it's an investment property, you've got more positive cash flow than you had before. It's like turning back time to, when I was talking to you back in 2012. I mean, I've been talking to you on the podcast for 21 years now, right? Very early in the podcasting game. I have one of the oldest real estate investment podcasts in the world, okay, is this show right here. So when I was talking to you back then, we were basically looking at all of these factors. And in about 2012, people started to move back into the market. They were scared because of the Great Recession. Now, of course, we sold properties to people in 2008, right in the thick of it, okay? And they got the best deals of all, right? But, most people got to wait a while before they can feel some confidence to get back in the game after a tough time, right? During the Great Recession or the GFC, the global financial crisis, whatever you want to call it. The worst economy in over 7 decades. And back then, you could buy properties that had $300 a month positive cash flow all the time, sometimes even better than that. With a 50-year mortgage, it's like turning back the clock. You thought the train left the station, you thought the ship left the dock, turn back time, because here's another chance. All you're really doing is renting the money anyway. So I've got the 30-year mortgage on a $400,000 house, 20% down, 6% interest rate. I know we're not quite there yet, but we're going there. We're at about 6.25% now. So that payment's $1,919 a month, $1,919. But on a 50-year mortgage, that same exact house, that same exact deal is only $1,684. You got almost $300 a month extra cash flow that you can invest, that you can do something with. You can make that money work for you. This is a phenomenal opportunity. But wait, there's more. Let's look at the real cost to rent the money. I always want you to think of it this way. When you finance anything, all you're doing is renting the money. The interest rate is the cost of the rent. So say, for example, you have a note rate where you think you're paying 6%, but if you have, and I'm using a 40% tax bracket, state and federal, depends what state you live in, depends how much money you make and how much you deduct. I know, but I'm just rounding it at 40%. Your interest is tax deductible. And by the way, Tom Wheelwright told me to use 40% because I was doing a live stream with him last night. He says, just use 40% as the tax bracket. So 6%, you get a 40% deduction. That means you get to take off 2.4%. So that reduces your real interest rate. But wait, there's more. It's better than that because you get to take off inflation, because inflation is debasing the interest rate the payment and the balance, right? This is inflation-induced debt destruction, and we're not even going to go into that today. Inflation-induced debt destruction makes this example much better. I'm just doing a simplistic interest rate example to show you the real cost of money. So the CPI right now is about 3%. We know it's the CPI and the real inflation rate is really higher. I'm going to share with you an example of that in just a moment. But you take 6% your note rate, you take 2.4% your deductible interest, then you take 3% CPI, and the real interest rate you are paying on this money is I should say it this way, it's 0.6%. It's less than 1%. That's the real cost of borrowing the money before the benefits of inflation-induced debt destruction. This is just a simple interest rate calculation, but it's really better than that because we all know that the consumer price index, the CPI, is the CP-lie. It is understated for all the reasons we've talked about before. Three of the main ways they do that is weighting, substitution, and hedonic indexing. So it's understated. And the government has huge incentives for understating the inflation rate. So let's look at it with a realistic example. Here is how you get paid to rent the money or to borrow the money. You're really renting it, so I like to call it renting it. Your note rate is 6%. Your tax deduction is 2.4%. The real rate of inflation, and I'm probably being conservative by most people's view, is 5%. That means your real rate, your real interest rate is negative. I said negative. You're getting paid to borrow here. You're getting paid to rent the money. Negative 1.4%. You are getting paid to borrow money. Imagine getting paid to borrow money for 30 years. That's incredible. It's fantastic. But it's even better if you can do it for 50 years. Okay? It's even better if you can do it for 50 years. Now, some people have said, well, a 15-year mortgage has a slightly lower rate than a 30-year mortgage, and that's definitely true. I mean, the shorter the term, the lower the lender's inflation risk. So the rate is lower. The 50-year mortgage will probably be a little more expensive than the 30-year mortgage, but rates are on the downswing either way. And it's probably not going to be enough more expensive to shy away from it. It is the greatest deal. And folks, if you're listening for the first time or you don't understand what I'm trying to get at here, the incredible benefits of arbitraging inflation, of using inflation-induced debt destruction, of understanding the real interest rate, please check out my old episodes. Go to jasonhartman.com and in the search bar type in inflation-induced debt destruction. Type that in on YouTube. Look for the podcast episodes on that or the YouTube videos on that. Also, use my AI chatbot. It's right on the front page of jasonhartman.com. It's this superhero image. There's a little superhero graphic in the lower right-hand part of the webpage. Or you can go there directly, jasonhartman.com/AI for artificial intelligence. And my AI chatbot is smarter than me. And I know you probably think I'm reasonably smart and humble too. So the AI chatbot has been trained on a whole bunch of my past content. It's free to use. And the people that start using it, every week we get a report. And we see that the people that started using it just keep using it because they love it so much. It's so handy. You can talk to it in your voice on your cell phone. There's no cost for this at all. Or you can type and text with it. You can whatever you like. You talk or text. Either way, it will answer all kinds of questions for you, give you all kinds of examples. Why is it smarter than me? Because it has the knowledge of the entire internet plus my knowledge. So it's really good. Check it out. Use the AI chatbot. Listen to the old episodes. Folks, this is so important that you understand this because this confluence of factors right now. I know real estate's been really boring for the past 3 years. The market has been just muted. It's been very subtle. Sales activity's been down. Prices have gone up slightly, but not much. Some markets are down, other markets are up more. The national average is up about 2% year over year, which is nothing to write home about. The normal is around 6%. And I know it's not been exciting, but it's the calm before the storm because so many factors are just so favorable for income property investors right now. It is just amazing. And I know that in a year or 2 years, hopefully you'll come back and listen to this episode or the others, and you'll see why I'm bullish, because this is just the facts. It's not my opinion. It's just a well-informed opinion based on facts and factors of all the things going on out there, okay? All right, today we have one of our masterclasses. You probably won't hear this recording in time to listen to it, but be sure to join us for our monthly masterclasses. They are 100% free. They're on the second Wednesday of every month. You just go to jasonhartman.com/Wednesday and you register for those masterclasses. And you've got me on there in person. Sometimes we have some guests, sometimes it's just me. And we've talked about the perpetual motion machine, where your real estate buys more real estate for you. It's the perpetual motion machine that the physicists and mechanical engineers have been trying to invent forever. It works in real estate. The perpetual motion machine is a fact of life. It's amazing. So we talk about all these great things. We have guests, we have market profiles, we have all sorts of things. So be sure you're on our list and you're checking out our Wednesday masterclasses. If you'd like more involvement with us, our pro community is really great too. Just go to empoweredinvestor.com, and for the cost of a inexpensive gym for your physical body, you can get all sorts of resources to help you build wealth with your real estate portfolio in our Empowered Investor Pro community. We meet monthly on Zoom, small groups with me there. I answer your questions. I present things to you that I don't talk about widely on the YouTube channel or the podcast. Also, you sign up for anything at our website, you'll be on our newsletter mailing list, and you'll get our newsletter for free as well.